live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice, on a Wednesday night. Welcome to the program. Dish Network Channel 219, Pluto TV, Channel 470. You can also catch us on 1029, that's Samsung TV Plus, along with Distro TV, as well as the Roku channel. Don't forget to follow us on all the socials. We're going to be on Kick, right? Honestly, I'm going to use Kick now first, so I don't forget it. Also, YouTube, Facebook, the Twitter, the Twixter, the X, whatever it's called. The Getter and the Getter chat, of course. Great community in there. We say hello to everyone who joins. Oh, don't forget Rumbler. The Rumblers that are in the Rumble chat as well. So we're trying to cover everybody's bases. So whatever's easiest for you to watch the show and jump in and have some fun commenting, feel free and do that. As you can tell, Damon is out. He's out sick. I think the visit to college, and once he realized how much money that
made him sick.
Made him really sick today because he's out. So hopefully he'll be back tomorrow for Thursday. Thursday night? Thursday night, yes.
Thursday night.
I'm losing track of my days, man.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy. David Zier is here. David, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. What's up, Ricks? And I wish Damon gets better. Hope he gets better. And a lot going on in the news cycle.
Yeah.
And I'll be on the ground again in Manhattan. And what's going on
now that's
is
tomorrow, right?
Completely bonkers. Yeah, just for a little bit. So, and Ben's been there all week, and Ben Burkam. Great coverage, and he will be heading to Romania to speak right after. I think they just had CPAC Hungary up until today, maybe.
Well, hopefully they'll have some food for him.
Well, he'll be next door in Romania, but Romania was the only Christian nation, I think, that was part of the Soviet bloc. I think just a little trivia there.
Oh, that's interesting.
But he's bringing great stuff to the table. Got to sit in the courtroom yesterday. But we'll be bringing you the latest and greatest, and a big shout out to the RAV audience and to all the social media. Get on social media. Yeah. Go on Getter at Real AM Voice, right? Get us on Facebook, live from Studio 6B.
LFS 6B across all the social networks, and of course, like and share the show, and do your part to get us out there and infect more people with our stupidity. Slick Rick, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's been a day, but I'm doing good, Rick.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, you know what? I know there's a lot going on in sports. Anything you want to tease? Because I know there's a big day tomorrow, right? Big draft day tomorrow.
Well, NFL draft tomorrow night. We'll be covering that live as well. And wow, Tiger Woods and Rory got going to get huge loyalty payouts from the PGA. I'll have that story. French police are clearing out the migrants just in time for the Paris Olympics, clearing house there. Good old liberal France. And Stephen A. Smith apologizes for saying the blacks relate to Trump, then cites growing support for Trump among blacks. So he tells us something that we've been talking about for quite a while. Right. So Stephen A. and the Smith guy there, he's always a controversial cat, but yeah, we have him in there as well.
Did you tell us the story of the Seine River having high levels of E. coli? They can't do the swimming portion of the triathlon?
No, that sounds like a you-know-what story. No, I don't have that story.
Yeah, so we'll talk about it later, but they had to cancel that portion. I don't know what they're going to do. And they delayed it so they can clean it up, and it came back, and it's still tested with extreme levels of E. coli. So interesting.
Awesome. Sounds like a good time in France.
Who the hell would want to swim in the Seine? It's terrible. I was there at 16. It was polluted.
Sounds like
40 years ago.
Your pants in France.
So
again, another chaotic day. I mean, you look across the headlines. I think the one that's kind of the most obvious, the one that's really jumping out at people, has to be this continued push by these Hamas terrorists, right? Can we call these quote unquote protesters, because they're claiming I am Hamas? That's their phrase. So last I checked, they're a terrorist organization. So if you say you are Hamas, you are therefore a terrorist, correct?
It's a combination of evil and stupidity. Like those two girls, right? Do we have that clip tonight?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So they don't even know why they're there.
Right. They don't even know why they're there. And it's amazing because you look across the headlines, you look across some of the video about what is coming out and what they are doing and what it looks like. I'm not sure. Did I send, because I kind of inundated Fran and Aaron with a bunch of video today, as well as David did. So I'm not sure if I did send this one particular clip of, I don't know. Yeah, you know what? Let's go with cut number 5 because this kind of sums it up. These people are they've got mental problems, right? You would think. Look at this. This is part of their support for Hamas. They're doing this cultish dance at Columbia.
Looks to me like they're getting stringed along.
Yeah.
Is the red string for all the blood they've shed?
I don't know. I don't even know where this comes from.
Looks like that long licorice.
Wow. The thing with interpretive dance, it's hard to interpret.
Right.
You can't interpret it. Well, I've interpreted it as stupid. How about that? I think that kind of encompasses it all.
They're just trying to roll people into this woke agenda.
And spin a yarn.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
I think you should leave this story alone.
But yeah, so this is part of what we're seeing, but I guess more of the aggressive action that we've seen as well is just disturbing because it goes across. Now it's infected, I guess, down in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, Harvard.
Harvard, of course. It's just amazing the people, and they don't even know. I truly don't think they know what most of them have no idea what they're actually there for, what they're talking about. You see it time and again where they're just yelling things, they're screaming things at people. We're hearing about Jewish NYU professors who are having their credentials turned off so they can't enter buildings. Like they have the swipe cards. They're having those kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Turned off. I guess the best way to describe it is the key fob. They can't use it to get in the buildings. Deactivated by members of the faculty, their own faculty members who hate Jews. Like, this is insanity.
So
this is what happens, David, when you let terrorists and Nazis into your colleges.
And these kids have been brought up by the nanny state. The parents are out to lunch, and they've been brainwashed. So they think that Israel is just as guilty as as Hamas. And you have to be able to separate it, right? If you have sympathy or empathy for the Palestinians, but Israel's the ones who employs them. Nobody else does. The Arab nations don't give a crap about them, so nobody really knows the history. They've been brainwashed, and Hamas is a terrorist group. So.
Yeah. Now, if we can go to my computer real quick here, Aaron, this is a scene out in California now. Out at USC. This happened this afternoon. We won't run any audio on it because we're not sure exactly what's going on, but you see the police presence that is trying to kind of control things, and they're being swarmed. These people are like locusts, and they're the worst of the worst because they truly have, like David said, you should be able to separate between, okay, this is a good policy, this is a bad policy, this is what we stand for, this is what we don't stand for. Instead of this, we just jump on board because we heard that Jews are bad, and that means Hamas is good. Palestinians are Hamas. Hamas are the Palestinians. Don't try to.
Well, Hamas hijacked the Palestinian cause.
But the Palestinian people voted them into power.
They did.
So they are now Hamas as well.
Yeah.
If they want Hamas, they are Hamas. These people, if they're chanting, "We are Hamas," guess what? They are Hamas. That would make them terrorists, which would make them, I think, eligible. Right? Can we deport people who are terrorists? Last I heard, we're supposed to be able to do that.
Better than that.
Extradited. Out.
Slick Rick, the USC parents should have used Trojans. I'm sorry. I had to do it.
But yeah, it's just amazing that this stuff is allowed to happen, is unfolding across campuses. And of course, they're all just the biggest coward losers you could imagine. People that dance around with these stupid strings. They have masks on their face. Why do they have masks on their face? Because they're not brave enough to stand by the courage of their convictions, to have their self out there and say, look, this is what I believe, and I don't care who knows about it.
Well, that's the thing. So, you need a permit to protest, and you can't wear a mask. A lot of states have laws about that, too.
Right.
So, if you're not willing to show your face, then you should be arrested.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I know, David, you mentioned the two girls. Let's get to it, because this is basically, what we were talking about, how stupid these Ivy League college kids are, because they're basically displaying their morons. let's talk to a couple of them. What could possibly hurt? They'll probably really teach us really a couple things that would be mind blowing to us knuckle draggers who work for a living and don't have an Ivy League education and just kind of blue collar guys.
Well, that's what the media always says.
Right.
The uneducated voters want Trump, and in New Hampshire they're all educated. So there's a big independent
right. So you could tell the difference because they're so educated. You know what? Let's talk to a couple. This is cut 8. Check out these two Nimrods.
And what would you say is the main goal with tonight's protest?
I think the goal is just showing our support for Palestine and demanding that NYU stops. I honestly don't know all of what NYU's doing.
Is there something that NYU's doing?
I really don't know. I'm pretty sure they're... Do you know what NYU's doing? About what? About Israel. Why are we protesting here?
Palestine will be free!
I wish I was more educated. I'm not either. I came from Columbia. I was there up at Columbia, and we came down. They said NYU students needed our support. So I came down. I heard there's lots of cops. Some people were saying it was getting dangerous.
Yeah. So there you go. The educated, the future of our nation, right there, ladies and gentlemen. The people who are, they're above us. They look down their nose at us because they're at these Ivy League institutions. And she's so stupid, and she says it on tape in front of everybody, for everybody like us, so we can replay it, so she can show off to her parents and the rest of her family. Hey, look at what the dip.
They're either nuts.
That this girl is that's related to you.
They're either nuts and screaming in your face the same thing over and over, or they're uninformed. It's like it's
well, she's a total dip. She's a total lunatic because she even says, "Well, I showed up at Columbia and then they told me to go. They told her to go down to NYU."
Yeah.
They told her. So basically, she's a lapdog. She's a sheep. And we tell you what to do, you go run and do it. We're going to drag you by that stupid earring attached to your nostrils. And we're going to drag you down to NYU. By the way, there are cops down there. It might get dangerous. But we don't really care about your health. We just want you there. So in case something happens, we can use you as a tool.
Yeah, and speaking of cops, we have footage when we come back of Texas Department of Public Safety whipping some butt.
Yeah. Just amazing. And you know what? I think I'm going to apologize. I came off a little. It's a Wednesday night. I don't know if I should be this hot under the collar.
Well, somebody's got to rant. Big D's.
No, you should. Our country's falling apart at the seams.
It's annoying. It's like, how is this?
It's falling apart.
We've been warning everybody for 40, 50 years that the leftists have hijacked the colleges, and this is what we got.
Right. And hey, as Barack Obama's famous pastor once said, the chickens are coming home to roost.
And go get Bannon's Generation Zero, and he explains all of this. Post-World War II generation has been spoiled.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll do some sports. We'll do some other news. I'll try to calm my ass down. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on Wednesday night. Stay there. Yeah, you really should comb your hair. It looks terrible. I don't know. It really does look like you got out of bed. You look like you had a long day.
Sewage treatment plant. Crazy shit going on.
Did I screw something
I'm
up
combing
there?
my hair, social media.
I made you too short.
Really? You made me too short?
Short people got no.
Thank you.
You know, when that song came out, it's like that was like the biggest of our problems back in the 80s.
Right.
Short people got no peace.
Yes, exactly.
How about
Now
when you
it's
said
whether
that
we should.
comment about USC? When you said that, I was like, they should have sent their kids to Baghdad. I didn't say that.
Yeah, we could have killed that for a half hour.
We could have stretched it.
Yeah. A lot of ribbing going on.
Yeah, prophylactically, yeah.
Prophylactically speaking.
Exactly.
All right. Hey, you know what? We are on in the...
Oh, we're live. Here we go.
we are live. I totally forgot.
Baghdad! Thanks for the reminder.
Doug Bethune...
Not that it's your responsibility. We should use our own heads.
Doug Bethune in the Facebook chat said Slick Rick's camera is a little bit out of focus.
Doug Bethune.
I don't know if that's true.
It's on autofocus. What's his name?
Doug.
It's on autofocus.
Doug.
Slick Rick is always out of focus.
He's fine. Come here, just look.
See, this is what happens is sometimes when we're not paying attention. Like we weren't paying attention.
No.
Oh, dang, I got to fix my tie, too. Thanks, John Boyle.
John Boyle. What a little boils down to, David, is you don't have the right knot.
Debbie Jean, don't say you like David Zier's tie. That thing is horrible. That thing is...
It's louder than bombs. All right. Let's see.
That's terrible.
That's an album. That's a Smiths album, Louder Than Bombs. All right.
I don't like it. Get rid of it. Get a Trump tie. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Wednesday night. If you're just joining us, Damon is out. He's out sick tonight. Hopefully he will be feeling much better. He'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, Slick Rick is here. He's got sports. David Zier, the host of Breaking Point on Saturday mornings right here on Real America's Voice. He is here as well. I know, David, you're going back in for the Trump trial tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, I'll be on the ground checking out what's going on. And, probably be there over the next few weeks here and there. Ben will be there, I think, all next week because he's leaving tomorrow and then coming back. So
right, yeah, he's gonna go to Romania now. If you didn't catch it yesterday, Ben Burkam was on with us. He's going to Romania. He's gonna go speak at CPAC.
No, post CPAC event. It's a post CPAC. I forgot the name of it.
But the fact of the matter is, he's being flown to another country to make a speech.
Yeah.
For conservatism in that country, which is kind of awesome. Our own little Ben Burkam, he's grown up so much, David.
Well, you know what? His coverage.
Little, not me.
I know he's a big dude.
I was with him in New Mexico 5 years ago at the border, and he was already doing this for a couple of years at the border, and nobody's been providing better border coverage. There's a few guys. There's Bensman. There's a few guys, but Ben has brought the most extraordinary coverage and exposing the truth. And
plus, he's got that show, Law and Border, that
fourth anniversary coming up, I believe,
here on the network as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, that's exceptional.
So, I mean, congrats to hats off to Ben Burkam and everything he does and continues to do to He wears his conservatism
special guy.
on his sleeve. Yeah,
special
exactly.
guy.
And he's not shy about it, so we appreciate him and wish him luck. Hopefully, he'll have a nice, safe flight. He'll be back in the U.S. and back here on our airwaves by Friday. So
those Romanian steaks are good too, right? Especially when you get them at the diner.
Yeah,
they're good.
Hey, let's do some sports with Slick Rick. Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. You still got a chance to get in the running for one of the $100 gift cards that we're going to draw for at the end of the month. We got 10 of them to give up. You could grab one of them. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Send us your receipt that proves it. And you'll also get, even if you don't win the $100, you still get the Trump shirt. Courtesy of LFS6B. So make sure you do that. Live from Studio 6B, Trump shirt that we'll provide to you. Slick, what do you got going on in sports?
Okay, well, let's go to the scoreboard. We got some NBA and NHL playoff action going on tonight live right now. For my money, probably the best team in the NBA, somebody that's going to make a lot of noise if they stay healthy, would be the Boston Celtics at home in the TD Garden at the half. Game 2, they have a 1-0 lead over the Miami Heat, and they lead the Heat by 3 right now, 61-58. So Celtics looking to go up with a commanding 2-0 lead before they head back down to Miami for Game 3. Thunder and Pelicans, that's a 9:30 p.m. tip out in Oklahoma City. That's the West Conference first round, Game 2. OKC leading that series 1-0. I don't know if Zion Williamson's coming back yet. They miss him for sure. New Orleans.
He's got that hamstring injury he suffered in the Lakers game.
So without him, I think it's going to be tough to overcome OKC, but we shall see. NHL action. Let's go to the ice. Some great NHL players. Was watching that Vancouver, Colorado game last night, back and forth. Fantastic hockey. Well, we got the Bruins and Maple Leafs up in Toronto. No score, and that series is tied 1-1. The Leafs came back and tied the Bruins, who are one of my favorites to make it to the conference finals, maybe to take on your Rangers, Rick, who look really super. 13:47 to go in the second. No score there. Golden Knight at the Stars down in Dallas. This will be Game 2 tonight. Vegas leading that series 1-0, 9:30 p.m. Puck drop. We have the Kings going out to Edmonton to take on the Oilers way out west at 10 p.m. That's also Game 2. Oilers leading that series 1-0. MLB action. Just going to grab a couple of scores for now. Red Sox 6-0 over the Guardians. End of 8. The Brewers over the Pirates 3-2. Top of the 6th. Phillies edging the Reds 2-1. Also top 6. Top 6 here. Dodgers 6-2 over the Nationals. Tigers trail the Rays 4-3. Top of the 6th. Boy, these guys are all on par. Yankees blanking the Athletics 2-0. A's will be moving soon, right, Rick?
Yeah.
Down to Vegas. Top of the 4th there. Braves over the Marlins 3-1. And Twins lead the White Sox 4-1. Top of the 3rd inning. Get to a couple of quick stories, if I may. Well, French police clear migrant camps out of Paris and alleged pre-Olympics clean. Breitbart London reporting. Paris AP. French police evicted migrants from a makeshift camp in Paris, a few steps away from the Seine River on Tuesday. Did I say that right?
The Seine.
The Seine.
Yeah.
Insane is more like it over there. The latest operation in what aid groups call a campaign of social cleansing. Oh, I like that one.
Good.
Ahead of the, let me have a little social cleansing, Rick. What even is
going
that?
On? What the hell is going on?
Well, before dawn, an unusually cold spring April morning, around 30 teenage boys and young men from West Africa were awakened by police and urged to pack their tents and belongings. Most of them were underage and in the process of seeking residency papers. Well, sounds like New York. I was already scared, but I'm even more scared because I don't know where to go, said Boubacar Traoré, 16, who said he fled conflict in Burkina Faso and arrived in France 2 months ago. David Zeal will give me a history lesson in the next break. The operation came days after police carried out a large-scale eviction at France's biggest squatter camp in the suburb of South Paris. Such evictions and evacuations of migrant tent camps happen every spring after the end of a winter truce, during which authorities put such actions on hold. But aid groups working with migrants and other vulnerable people in Paris, the region says that efforts are intensifying ahead of the Olympics this summer. They note that people are being sent far away from the capital instead of being offered shelter in the Paris region, where many asylum seekers have upcoming court dates. The authorities want to have a clean place for the Olympic Games. They don't want the tourists to see Paris as a city full of migrants and asylum seekers. Well, they can go to New York if they want to do that.
Right.
Elias Hufkengel, a volunteer with a group serving refugees and immigrants, said at the Paris tent camp Tuesday, I think they were playing Tom Brady's "You Don't Have to Live Like a Refugee" too in the what's called the limos, not the limos, the trains there. So who knows? Anyway, Rick, that's a wrap in sports there. Paris getting clean. I'll have that the Tiger Woods story coming up next in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear about that because that kind of piqued my interest.
You know,
money.
That story we were talking about during the break, they want to have the triathlon for the Olympics in the Seine River in
right.
Paris. And they wanted to have, I think, a pre-Olympic event. They couldn't do it. They said they would clean up the Seine. They also had a sewer leak a few years ago as well. It's already a pretty polluted river. And it's in question. They went and tested it again. The E. coli count was like through the roof. I don't have the story on it. I do have a story of a swimmer said, "I'd swim in anything." Triathlete Hauser shrugs off Paris pollution concerns.
I think
Matt Hauser.
They're going to film the next Ricola commercial there. E. coli!
So, I wouldn't swim in it.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, and you couple that with the fact that like they've done, Xi Jinping is coming to San Francisco. We got to clean up San Francisco. Remember when they did that?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. They're just going to scoop them up, push them off to the side so the picture looks nice. And then when everybody's not looking or everybody goes home, they're like, all right, let the crap back in. And then the crap infects the area.
The Olympics will be sponsored by Leslie Pool Supply.
Right, exactly.
I mean, it's just insanity. It's almost by design. They don't really care about the people that actually pay and live there. They just whatever.
Yeah.
It's systematic destruction, and it's all it seems to me. It seems like, wow, this is kind of pre-programmed almost.
Well, Paris, I was there 40 years ago, 38 years ago. It was the most beautiful place I've ever been in the world.
I used to go.
Changed, right?
I used to go up until like the mid 2000s.
Wow.
And then you couple the E. coli with the revelation that that's right, they have the catacombs underneath the city. There's a lot of stuff that's probably seeping into those rivers, into the water system.
Oh, yeah.
Like wee.
Les Miserables was took place in the sewer system too.
It was miserable.
Right, exactly. and then you got that mouse that cooks dinner for people.
Ratatouille, that great movie.
Exactly.
Great movie.
Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah, he's from there.
Yeah.
All right, and believe me, that's what the people smell like these days. All right, we'll take a quick break. Come back more with David Zier. We got some more news. We'll continue our discussion with some of these protests that, again, just undermining everything this country's about. Take a quick break. We come back live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Stay there. Right. Now we're in the chat. Hello, chatters.
Hello, chatters.
Let's see. What's all the chatter about?
I don't know. Talking about E. coli.
David, I gotta fix your camera.
Oh, Nick 387's back. He was MIA.
Was he?
Yeah, he wasn't.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Nick. Nick's back in action. I think he took a trip to Detroit to see if he could find Eddie Murphy.
David, look up.
Sure.
Filming Beverly Hills Cop 33. Yeah. Hey, Nick.
Laura Jean at Facebook. Ratatouille is the best ride at Disney. I didn't even know that was a ride.
I didn't know that was
that's how long. I haven't been to Disney in so long.
I won't go anymore.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insanely overpriced.
Oh, my God.
It's so woke.
And there's really no cool rides.
It's so woke now.
Not if you're above the age of 10.
They still have Space Mountain there, or they got rid of that?
I think they got rid of that and they called it something else.
Which one? Space Mountain?
Yeah.
Oh, did they get rid of it?
I think so. I don't even know. That tells you how long I've been. And people are like, oh, you got to go to Epcot. Why?
Epcot's
So
fun.
I could just eat at different. It's like, all right, I could do that here in New York.
Try to bratwurst.
I could do that here in New York, and the food probably costs a third of the price.
Yeah, why would you want to go to New York? That's worse than going to Disney.
Oh man. Now there's somebody's asking in the chat, David Zier. They want you to look into this. David Zier, is the report of Houthi rebels firing on and hitting a U.S. warship today true?
Oh.
Probably.
Probably is.
That's Marie Fay.
She's probably right. They probably did.
Yeah. Maybe a new attack off
of a story
about
The
Yemen.
U.S. secretly shipped missiles to Ukraine that were fired in Moscow. I saw something come across my feed a couple hours ago.
I have no idea.
That wound up hitting Moscow, you mean?
That was shot towards Moscow. When did I see that? It was earlier tonight.
Well, everything we send them gets thrown towards Moscow.
Yeah, they're bombing their oil fields with U.S. equipment.
I know, but hey, come on.
Yeah, AP reporting ship saw an explosion. Didn't hit anything, though.
All right, we got about 15 seconds. Here we go. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice, Wednesday night. Thank you for joining us on the show. Remember to follow us on all the socials, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, the Rumblers in the chat over there, the YouTube, X, or Twitter, whichever you're calling it these days. I go with Twitter. It's just easy to remember for me. Plus, I don't want anybody to go, oh, you on X? Like a Slick Rick joke. I don't need it. Anyhow, so make sure you follow us on all the socials. Didn't even get a peep out of him on that one. Again, David, who we're talking about, and I think it affects all of us because we've all seen it. All these stupid protests that are basically terrorists telling us they're terrorists and marching around pretending that they're benevolent. Like, oh my goodness, we must do this for the people of Gaza. The people of Gaza don't even. You know what? The funny thing is, if you dropped a bunch of these college dipwads into Gaza and said, here, go hang out with Hamas for a day. Let's see how long you last. Half of them will probably get their heads cut off because they're against gays. They're against basically everything that you might stand for in the liberal life. But no, go ahead, support them. It's amazing you've got all these useful idiots that are just infecting these colleges around the country.
And Hamas started out backed by the Sunnis, and Hezbollah started out backed by the Shia Iranians. But now Iran is backing both, and they're backing Hamas. So if you support Hamas, you not only support Sunni terrorism, but you support Iranian Shia, Iranian Revolutionary Guard terrorism as well. And, we've listed all the attacks on us, over the years, and 241 Marines in Lebanon. That's what you're supporting, getting killed. Our embassies being blown up twice. Our Navy diver being dumped on the tarmac in Lebanon in the 80s on that hijacked TWA flight. That's what you're supporting. Anybody out in the street doing this, and listen, if you want to say, I support Palestinians and I don't want them to die and whatever, and you leave it at that, that's different.
Right.
But when you're actually supporting terrorism, indirectly or directly, it's got to end.
Yeah, and you know who says the same message, has the same message as you, David?
Who's that?
Mr. John Fetterman, senator out of Pennsylvania, believe it or not. Let's go to him, see what he has to say. Cut number 6.
But it is not appropriate or legal, or it's helpful to advance your argument if you show up in a Starbucks with a bullhorn and start yelling at people, and that doesn't make you noble. It just makes you an ass. Very American to protest and to do that in the appropriate way, then I absolutely support that. I'm not suggesting that you have to agree with my view, but it's just saying it doesn't really allow you to disrupt lives and to inflict those kinds of damages on people that are just trying to get on with their lives.
Yeah. And, again, protesting is great as long as you don't commit crimes doing it. Right. And you don't call for the for the death of people just because you don't agree with them.
Skokie, Illinois, the Supreme Court said, listen, there were Nazis marching in the street. You can do it, but this is another level. This is crazy.
This is on a stupid level. And even one of the NYU professors who came out, he had a couple things to say. I got a couple clips from him. His name is Scott Galloway. He was on, I believe it was MSNBC. Check out this one. This is cut number 17. This is him talking about the chaos on the campuses and NYU specifically, because of course that's where he works. Check this out.
And I do think there is a double standard. I walked by NYU last night. What I saw was peaceful protests. But I can tell you, if I went into the NYU square with a white hood on and said, lynch the blacks or burn the gays, my ID would be shut off by that night. And I would never work in academia again. There would be no need for the words context or nuance. I wouldn't be protected by terms like First Amendment or free speech. I would be out of the world of academia. It seems like we have a double standard when it comes to hate speech, as long as it's against Jews.
And we're not just talking about the exercising of free speech and protest, which we agree people have, and there's spaces on campus for that. It's what they're saying. It's the harassment of Jewish students. So what is that? Why is there that double standard? Because, of course, you're right. You don't even have to say it out loud. If these things are being said about black people or gay people or Latinos or Asian or anybody else, forget it. Shut down the school. Everybody's expelled. Why is there still that double standard?
I think it's complicated. I think, one, young people have a healthy gag reflex on what people our age think. And I think that's healthy. Two, I don't think Israel has draped itself in glory over the last 20 or 30 years. They've shifted from being kind of the David to the Goliath. I also think that incorrectly students on campus conflate the civil rights movement with what is going on in Palestine and have digressed, unfortunately, because of an orthodoxy promoted by me and my colleagues that there are oppressors and oppressed, and the easiest way to identify oppressors is how white and how rich they are, or fairly or unfairly. Israel is seen as ground zero for whiteness and how wealthy they are. And then what might sound paranoid doesn't mean I'm wrong. I think we are being manipulated, specifically youth, who their frame for the world is TikTok. And if you look at TikTok, there are 52 videos that are pro-Hamas or pro-Palestinian for every one served on Israel. I think that we are being manipulated. I think Americans are easier to fool than convinced they've been fooled. But if I were the CCP, I'd be doing exactly the same thing. I think social media is sowing division and polarization in our.
Yeah. He makes a lot of good points. I know, David, you were bristling at a few of them.
Well, the whole thing's nuts. And, and this is as Houthi rebels, someone in our Facebook chat, was it, pointed out that there was another attack potentially today off of Djibouti. Associated Press is reporting that the British saw an explosion in the distance, and this is what you're supporting. Houthi rebels are backed by the Iranians, funded by them, and same people that are backing Hamas. So
yeah, and when talking about these students, he also goes on, and I don't know if I agree with this. I thought it was interesting what he had to say, how. And they use a chart, I think, as well to kind of point it out. He thinks that it might have in part to do, I guess, with prospects of what young people see themselves or see for themselves in the future. Again, I don't know if I'm ready to jump off on that ramp and say, yeah, this could be why it's leading. But he does make some good points in terms of, I guess, how they might see themselves and how they see their opportunities, moving forward. This is cut number 9. Same guy from NYU, Scott Galloway.
For the first time in our nation's history, a 30-year-old man or woman isn't doing as well as his or her parents were at 30. That is the social compact breaking down. People aged 30 to 34, 60% of them in 1990 had one child. Now it's 27%. People are opting out of America. They're not optimistic about it. They're not having kids. Young people aren't having sex. They're not meeting. They're not mating. The pool of emotionally and economically viable men shrinks every day, which lessens household formation. So we have a real issue. Young people are enraged. So it turns every cut, every movement into an opportunistic infection because, quite frankly, they are just pissed off. They look up, they see wealth, exceptional wealth across my generation and people in certain industries, and they are really struggling. Their purchasing power is going down, and the incumbents create artificial scarcity on campus. We take pride in rejecting 90% of our applicants, so the incumbents who already have a degree see their degree go up in value. We get very concerned with housing and traffic once we own the housing. Housing permits are sequestered from young people. Housing prices have gone from $290 to $420 in the last 4 years. So a young person, a house, stocks that I don't own skyrocket in value. Let's have COVID relief and flush the markets and take assets way up, because if 1 million people dying would be bad, would be tragic if I got less wealthy. And we're doing it on their credit card. Young people have every reason to be enraged.
No, they don't.
And every issue they see, they look up, they get angry, and they see someone doing better than them. And then every day it is speedballed in their face that they are failing, that they are not doing as well as everyone around them. We have lost the script. Our kids are more anxious and more depressed and more obese and more addicted. And we have made a purposeful decision to let this happen by ensuring that people around this table stay wealthy at the cost of young people.
Yeah. So again, I don't know if I'm gonna jump on with him and say that's a good excuse for them to be the way they are. I don't think it is. But what do you have to say? Because I saw you were bristling at some of those.
Listen, people are struggling and they're working 2 and 3 jobs. But every one of these children have 1 or 2 cell phones, 3 or 4 computers, 20 TVs in their house or the bar on the corner. And, these people don't know what it's like to suffer. My great-grandparents had nothing. My grandparents, they had dirt floors. And my in-laws grew up in the east side of New York with, my uncle grew up with 14 brothers and sisters in a railroad flat in New York City 60 years ago. They had nothing. These kids are spoiled. They don't know squat. And I get his point about, they don't have the right to be enraged. They need to be good people, decent people. They're not being taught it. They're not being taught it at home. They're not being taught it in schools. So, he has that point. But they don't have the right to be enraged.
Well, and again, like I said, I get his point because he makes a point of saying the people at this table, he's pointing to himself, saying, we're the ones that have the wealth now, and we're not sharing it, basically. We're not giving them the opportunities to kind of grow themselves as well. And he's got a point. If you look at if you look at what they're earning these days, I don't know about you. Have you seen your income jump as much as prices have with inflation?
I work 4 careers at a time. I'm working more harder than I ever have.
No, I understand that. But in terms of what you take in, most people will only work 1 job.
Yeah.
Have they seen an inflation size move in their paychecks?
No,
probably
and
not.
We know that. And we know what the Democrats have done. We know what a lot of Republicans have done. We know local, state, and federal government, our municipal union, they're hostage to the municipal unions and the big, fat, monolithic pension system on all levels. We get that. That's the fight we fight every day. But these kids, even the poorest of the poor in the United States, have cell phones and brand new sneakers on. And they got to stop bitching. And, until they go out and work 80 hours a week, 100 hours a week, and go out there and bust their ass and dig a ditch or, work, I had 3 kids at 23. It wasn't easy, so, they got to stop complaining and, but yeah, things suck, but that's life. But even as much as they suck now, it's still better than it was 100 years ago.
Well, yeah, of course.
Or 80 years ago. Or 60 years ago.
but in terms of and again, I'm saying I understand what he's saying. The way they might see like there's no chance for me to get there.
Yeah.
There's no opportunity.
But there is, and it's hard.
Right.
And it's hard, and it's fleeting.
Right.
And the American dream is fleeting.
Yes.
And it's hard to save to buy a house when peanut butter is $9.
And you know what? Just run cut number 5 for us in the background without the audio there, Aaron, as we continue to the break here. Only because, like you said, it's hard, right? It's fleeting. You have certain opportunities throughout your life to make the right decision because it's only 2 decisions you can make, the right one or the wrong one.
Yeah.
That's it.
And you're not
And look at these kids here doing the string dance. You think they're going to make the right decision?
They're coming from families that drive Volvos and Beamers, and they're paying $90,000 a year to go to college.
And when they can't afford that stuff for themselves because that money runs out, they're going to be like, maybe I shouldn't have been string dancing at Columbia.
Maybe they shouldn't be smoking weed since they're 15 and sitting in front of the computer and go out and work that 68-hour work week.
Yeah. All right.
But I'm not bitter.
Not at all. Me either. All right, good. All right, we'll come back. We'll do some more sports with Slick Rick. Maybe he'll tell us about all that money, all that moolah, all that shit all that Tiger and Rory are going to be swimming in. Now I'm getting angry. Now I'm just like the kids of today. I'm getting angry. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Stay there. There it is. It's like coming in and out.
Hello? No.
His mic is gone.
I don't know.
Okay.
You know what it is? It's got to be a better system with this thing. Oh, the stand is terrible. It's probably not the greatest the way this leans on the glass, Frank?
No, it's the cable got pinched underneath somewhere because certain people don't know how to do it.
Anyhow, so here we are in the break. Slick Strick Mike died.
Yeah.
Midway through.
So it allowed you guys to.
Because I was like looking at you like go ahead.
I couldn't get in on that.
Go ahead.
I was going to get in the way of that. That was good stuff.
I didn't realize your microphone was was out. Do you want to give him this one, Fran?
Problem is, this whole cable is shot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we have gorillas. Let's play with them.
There's gorillas in here at night?
Erin wants to know if you want her to come out to run a cable fast.
No.
Can you run this one just over to him?
That's all one, right?
Yeah. So Fran is doing his duty.
Oh my God.
Oh no. Aaron! What? Yeah, if you can help out. Yes. She's a coming. He needs a cable off the wall. Any XLR cable. Hey, what's with the language? That's some salty language, young lady.
Watch that now.
Wow.
Watch out for Mother's Day.
You know what? Doesn't have to be pretty. It just needs to work.
Okay. Thanks.
Did it with 30 seconds to spare.
Wow.
It's like when you got to fill the shopping cart in a minute and a half.
What have happened to my Transylvania twist?
Don't bother. Don't bother.
He did the mash. He did the monster mash.
Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Wednesday night. Damon is out sick. Hopefully he'll be back tomorrow to take us through Thursday and Friday into the weekend. In the meantime, David Zier is here. How are you?
I'm all fired up.
A little bit. Have you? I know we ask you about Breaking Point every Saturday morning.
Yeah.
At 8 a.m. right here on Real America's Voice. Anything in particular coming up you can get people excited for?
I'm going to play some Wilmington Trump rallies, the one that was called off 10 minutes before it was supposed to start because they wouldn't let Trump's plane land due to major storms. South Carolina got hit pretty hard, right just south of Wilmington, North Carolina. But Trump will be back on the road tomorrow. I'm still, going to work on the show and plan the show. And, this guy has great points. And we all know that, struggle. That's what, this show is about.
Oh, you
right?
mean
that guy from
the NYU professor?
The NYU professor,
Gotcha.
But he's missing an element. He's missing a lot of it. I think that, you're not entitled to nothing, period.
That's true.
And your life is what you make it. My family, we were on the free lunch program, we didn't have anything. And but even as much as we didn't have anything, we still had more than my grandparents had during the Depression, which they literally had nothing.
Yeah, I remember I went down to see my grandmother after my grandfather passed, and he passed I think he was 91 at the time.
Yeah.
But she was like a year older. She was a cradle robber back then, David.
Oh, yeah. Right?
She was 92. She was actually older than him, which was odd for that time.
Yeah.
But, I went to visit the farm that they had, and it was a small building on the side of a mountain in Puerto Rico. I'm like, what the heck is this? And, yeah, the second floor was a dirt floor.
Yeah.
And she still lived there.
Wow.
It's like... This is, and she, for a time they did live in New York City, in Brooklyn. But yeah, once they had kind of sold everything and they retired, they went back to Puerto Rico and went back to that house.
There's no guarantees in life, and I know, I watch my kids. My oldest is 35. I have grandkids, and I'm worried about them every day. I'm sick. We can't sleep at night, right? Because we're plugged in, and
right. I think that's the big difference.
It adds on a dimension of stress. But people still have to get up every day and work, and life goes on. Life goes on.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Okay, so I think that was Slick Rick. You got any dirt floors in your?
No, but that story about the farm was very moving. I'll tell you that.
All right, let's move it right along over to sports. Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to mypillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Get a hold of that free Trump shirt. I got it around here somewhere. I'll show it off. You'll get that automatically if you use our code at checkout and send us the receipt. But you'll also be in a drawing for one of the 10 $100 gift cards that we'll be giving out in less than a week.
Wow.
Crazy. At the end of the month. It's already going to be May.
Wow.
That means the election's that much closer. Slick, what do you got?
Well, this sounds like loyalty rewards. Speaking of getting rewarded for loyalty, how about this story? This is Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy among big PGA Tour payouts, ESPN News Services. Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, and other PGA Tour stars are about to receive massive bonuses for their loyalty. The Telegraph reported Wednesday that Woods will receive up to $100 million in equity as part of the newly created for-profit PGA Tour Enterprises, with McIlroy getting about half that amount, a paltry $50 million. The payouts, which are set to be disclosed to the players by PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan on Wednesday, are a way to thank players for sticking with the PGA Tour instead of jumping to the rival Live Golf League and huge paydays from Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. Nearly 200 players will receive a stake, with $750 million of it going to the top 36 players based on a formula that weighs career success and cultural popularity. That's why Woods is getting $100 million. According to the Telegraph, other notable payouts including $30 million each for Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas, while $75 million is targeted to go to notable retired players. To receive the money, players would have to continue to remain loyal to the PGA Tour, with the funds vesting over the next 8 years, according to the Telegraph. And I guess a little insurance policy there, Eric.
But go ahead.
No question. And going forward, the PGA Tour plans to award $100 million per year to the players. But they're really showing the money all of a sudden now.
All of a sudden,
we found a little extra in the grandma's mattress.
You got a little extra skittle on the side here for you.
Yeah.
It is kind of interesting that all of a sudden after the Live Tour comes out and they start, basically showering these players with huge sums of money, that the PGA all of a sudden, hey, we found some. Maybe they were going through their jackets looking for gold bars and found cash and stuff stuffed in them, like certain New Jersey senators.
Unbelievable. So, you know what? Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, it goes into detail the rest of it, but you get the idea. $100 million for Tiger, $50 million for Rory. Spieth picks up 30. Thomas picks up 30.
Yeah, but as you said there, they don't get the cash.
Right.
They get what is it? They get it's vested and
well, it's an investment fund, but they're going to pay them out over time.
Yeah, over time.
Yeah.
They
over
just
8
can't
years.
walk up. They can't just walk up and go, yeah, give me my $100 million.
No, it's going to be an 8-year payout. But you know what?
So.
That doesn't sound. I take about $12 million a year, like Tiger, just for that, in addition to the prize money. Pretty good stuff. That's a good gig if you can get it.
I take $12,000.
Yeah. Listen, on this show, I take $1,200. Here we go. Megan Rapinoe, everybody's favorite sweetheart, right? Joins gay advocacy group's letter urging NCAA not to ban trans athletes from women's sports. This is Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart. A radical LGBTQ group has elicited the support of 400 athletes, including Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird, urging the NCAA not to ban transgender athletes from college sports. Crazy. The letter is sponsored by the LGBTQ sports advocacy group Ally were sent to the NCAA on Tuesday to support male-born athletes competing as a woman in college sports, NBC News reported. We call on you to be on the right side of history and affirm that sport is truly for us all. The letter signed by athletes, many of whom who are already retired, says, do not ban transgender women from the NCAA women's sports. Well, that already tells you something there, right? So Rapinoe, as we said before, doesn't have to play against male athletes. Because when she did, they got their butts reamed, right? They lost like 10-0. Remember when they played those
high school
males?
kids out of Texas.
Right. So now sure, it's easy. Sue Bird, same thing. She's not, she don't want to post up next to a guy built like Michael Jordan, with a wig on. So that makes a lot to be said. So just wanted to get that out there. Don't want to get into all the details. I don't think this audience really cares. But, got to let you know that there are people out there moronically supporting the most stupidest thing probably in the sports world, and that is boys playing in girl sports.
Yeah.
Enough said there. That's
All
a
right.
wrap.
All right, that's a wrap in Slick Rick Sports. Speaking of stupidity, you want to hear the stupidest thing you'll see today? Probably all week.
You got a Joe Biden clip?
Almost. Okay. Check this out. This is cut number 2. I don't actually know the names of these people, and I don't really care. But when you watch it, you'll just see how stupid some people are.
Baby, one thing about me is everybody know I'm so good with the coochie, so I always make a lot of money.
What?
That's amazing. I didn't know that about you.
What do you know?
That you're a musician. But that's why I'm interviewing you today, so I can get to know you.
So I'm a musician. Mm-hmm. What the f*** that mean? Make magic or something? What is musician?
I think you're confusing that.
Yeah, I'm not no musician. I make music. I make music, and that's not all I do. I make music, I act. I'm a TV star too, a young mogul.
Just really quick, I think you're confusing.
I'm not confusing nothing because you don't know. You thought that all I was a magician or whatever the f*** you said.
See, that's what I think you think I said. I said musician, not what magician.
I don't think, baby. I don't think. What is that? That's ghetto. I don't think. I know.
I know.
So you
think.
I didn't say magician, Suki. I said musician. And I think you are a musician.
No, baby, I do music.
So you just really quick, for the record, could you say you don't think you're a musician?
I'm not none of that.
But then after that, you just said I do music.
Yeah, I do music.
So in other words, you're a musician.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Whoa.
This is what my whole argument was about.
That's Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan, everybody. Shaka Khan.
Truly magical. All right, we'll take a quick break. That's the end of the first hour. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll be back.
Probably a TikTok.
Hour number 2 coming up.
Who is it?
I don't even know, and I don't care.
Tell you, Shaka Khan artist.
It's the Screaming Goat.
She says. Okay.
What happened?
Oh, that's much better.
All right.
Check 1, 2.
Check, baby, check.
Check, baby, 1, 2, 3, 4. I ain't into tricking, just the treating. And I ain't into treating every chick that I'm meeting. Nah.
Who's that, Flavo Flav?
No, they ain't Flavo Flav. Oh, we're actually in the... It's a wrap. No, that's flavonoid.
Yeah, with the Wu-Tang in the house? What's going on over here?
David's completely lost. What the hell's going on?
Get your mind out of the gutter with the Wu-Tang. Yeah. Oh, no.
I kind of caught you off guard as funny.
Ginger in the chat says she's a mutation. That's more like it. Oh, Joanne, Ohio is rolling.
She looks familiar.
Joanne, Ohio just heard my Slick's MCing. That's right, baby.
Right. But who's the singer?
She's from some VH1 reality show, and then from that she put out an album, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but I don't think she thinks. She just knows.
No.
She apparently responded to that on Twitter, saying that she's not a musician, she's a mogul. But I don't think she knows what that word means either.
Suki Hana. That's her name.
She's the skier.
Yeah.
She skis the moguls.
She's a bump. She's a bump on a ski mountain.
Yeah, she's a mogul, all right.
She's a cross between a motorcycle and a Japanese restaurant. Suki Hana. Wow.
Isn't that impressive?
That was
right?
the most messed up thing I ever saw.
All right, David, we'll come to you. I know you got a bunch of clips. Okay. I don't know what you call me. You don't call me that. My mama don't call me that.
Hey, it would have been even better if she said, "I ain't no muse." No, you are a muse. You're a songstress.
I don't do magic. She doesn't do magic. Some David Copperfield shit. Get that out of my face.
Yeah. Crazy.
And I love the podcast. She's like, just for the record, I think you're confusing. I don't confuse nothing.
She's going to put...
She was nasty.
Yeah. She's not,
that kid was very professional.
That was like...
I know. That's right.
He should have asked if she turned tricks. She's a magician.
Get that David Copperfield stuff out of my face. Anyhow, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Wednesday night. Dish Network Channel 219, Pluto TV Channel 470, 1029 on Samsung TV Plus. I think that's my favorite. I think I've talked about it. I think it's because I have Samsungs in my house. It's so easy for me to just click the button and boom.
Samsung TV has a great picture.
Yeah, it
channel
does.
1029, Samsung TV.
It does.
Great resolution, yeah.
That's why I think I love that. Out of all the platforms, I think that's my favorite. Also, Distro TV, you can catch us on there. Roku, on the Roku channel. All the socials as well. Facebook, Twitter, Twix, X. What's the other ones? Rumble, the Rumblers. Getter, the Getter chat. Instagram, it's LFS6B Show, I believe, on Instagram. And, of course, we'll try and jump into the chats. It's tough to do when
we've got magicians on the screen.
It's a magic trick. Tough to do to jump to each and every one, so we try and one guy will grab one and one but it's tough. We'll try and call you guys out when we see stuff in there. Slick Rick is here with sports. He's going to have more sports in just a little bit, but right now it's time for David Zier, the host of Breaking Point, Saturday mornings right here on Real America's Voice at 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 a.m. on the West Coast. He's got his version of the news. David, what do you got for us?
Well, we got Texas Department of Public Safety. Bunch of badasses there, excuse the French. Cut number 11. We'll play maybe half a minute of this. Protest today. Oh, it's B-roll. Okay. Yeah, so Department of Public Safety came in, and people weren't cooperating. I don't know what the cause of DPS coming in and breaking up this protest, but I think it was out of control.
Yeah, I mean, this is University of Texas at Austin, I believe.
Yep.
The Austin campus. And again, Austin is one of those blue areas in Texas.
Oh, forget it, Really a different story these days, Texas, and it's still a great state, but I hope it doesn't get infected, to the blue side. I think it's still red, and Cruz is even polling, ahead. Republicans are polling at 5 points up in the general election.
And stuff like this is only gonna make it better for Republicans.
For the Senate.
Oh my God. Because I mean, is this what you want?
Wow. Look at this.
Because let's face it, this is what they're planning for the summer. This is what they're planning for the election.
Yeah, it's not even hot out.
Yeah.
This is all like how we talk about how we lost cell service overnight at 3 a.m. There was a bunch of things you went.
It's a color revolution.
It's a test run. They do
it's
these
a color
test
revolution.
Yeah, they allow it to happen and see what the response is.
The CIA used to do this in the Eastern Bloc countries. Use their apparatchiks to foil elections, and it's really what's going on here. I have a couple of quick videos for you. I thought you guys would like this stuff. We have, let's see, what's a good one? Fighting in the streets of Manhattan in the middle of the day. Cut number 10, Venezuelan groups, fist fighting. This is outside the Row Hotel. Ben was there last night. This is the streets of Manhattan in the daytime now.
So basically we've transplanted the same gang members from
New York.
Venezuela.
Oh, yeah.
So let's just have them fight in the streets of New York.
Yeah. This is Midtown towards the west side. And now the number's up to 190,000 illegals have been brought to New York City since June of 2022, I believe.
It's a good thing Damon wasn't driving by because he would have beat some ass.
I'm telling you. Then we have cut number 12, Christie, the pot calling the kettle black.
A criminal trial is a really awful thing to go through. And if you look at Trump physically right now, he looks terrible.
So then we got cut 13, J.D. Vance on the persecution of Orthodox Christians in Ukraine. This is really interesting, cut 13.
Just today, the Ukrainian parliament is considering enacting a law that would dispossess large numbers of Christian churches and Christian communities in the country of Ukraine. Now, they say it's because these churches are too close to Russia. That's what they say. And maybe some of the churches are too close to Russia, but you don't deprive an entire religious community of their religious freedom because some of its adherents don't agree with you about the relevant conflict of the day. I believe, standing here, that this war will eventually lead to the displacement of a massive Christian community in Ukraine, and that will be our shame. Our shame in this chamber for not seeing it coming, our shame in this chamber for doing nothing to stop it, our shame for refusing to use the hundreds of billions of dollars that we send to Ukraine as leverage to ensure and guarantee real religious freedom.
I thought that was interesting because I was in Moscow in '86, and the Russians, when the Russian Revolution happened, they burnt down like 14,000 Russian churches when the Soviet Union formed. And it was the Soviets who were persecuting the Orthodox Christians. Now Putin is aligned with Orthodox Christians. And in Ukraine, Orthodox Christians are being punished. And the Greek, I think, Orthodox has been outlawed. And these are the people we just give $60 billion to. They're punishing Christians. So, and I know their intention, like he said, was because some are aligned with the Russian church and all that, and the Russians. But there's no free speech in Ukraine and the media, right? And so,
right, and it makes that's why, you know, when we played that clip yesterday of the, you know, of Congress celebrating with their Ukrainian flags on the House floor for passing a bill to send them $60 billion more of our money that will be wasted on a war that cannot be won against an enemy that is far too strong for them. Let's just call it as it is. It's sickening that you know, this kind of stuff happens.
And Mike Johnson, I think, was ordered by the Sergeant at Arms in the House to take down that video.
No, that was Thomas Massey.
Massey, but I think he was instructed by the Sergeant at Arms.
Right. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So that's crazy. And just two quick things, 30 seconds of video because of, while we're on religion, cut number 14, really quick. Cut number 14, Biden slandering. Religion.
I saw this.
He described the Dobbs decision as a miracle. Maybe it's coming from that Bible he's trying to sell.
Talking about Lee Greenwood.
I almost wanted to buy one just to see what the hell's in it.
Yeah, go open a Bible, Joe, to help you, because now we have cut 15 giving this during a speech about abortion.
Doing the sign of the cross.
Cut 15.
You'll love this one.
And then we come back here to the state of Florida, where Ron DeSantis felt like he needed to run for president, and so 15 weeks wasn't good enough. We had to go to 6 weeks.
Can't write it. Yeah. So I got more for you later.
Are you kidding me? What, did I just see what I saw?
Yeah, you saw what you just saw.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
The President of the United States, who claims to be a Catholic. He claims that he's
Trust me,
goodness.
He is far from
he
that,
is far from
He
it.
is a fraud.
Yeah, he is a complete
Catholic.
fraud. Doing the sign of the cross that represents the death of Jesus Christ to signify, we're going to kill some babies. Hey, we're talking about killing babies. We're going to take it from 6 weeks to 15 weeks. If only God would let us. That's basically what he's doing.
Special place for people like that.
He is, and I've said this, and I know, I hate saying it out loud. I mean, I don't mind saying it, when the mics are off. But this guy is a scumbag.
Yeah.
He is the epitome of, when you think about, when you hear about the politician who, they go where the wind blows. You could hear the old-timey radio voice going, he votes where the wind blows. That's Joe Biden. Joe Biden is he is the character of the swarmy, disgusting, you go to shake his hand, you gotta wipe it off when you're done because he's just so disgusting of a person. Yeah. That's who he is the living embodiment of a scumbag.
And Biden's only the second Catholic president after JFK. And, to do that, okay, so you're not so religious and you're more secular, but to do that,
and to make these claims that, I know because I was raised in this community. I was born in a black church. He's never been in a black church. He only goes to a black church when he wants votes. That's the only time.
And it's like Al Gore going into the black church and going into black speak.
Holy moly.
And Hillary Clinton saying, I always keep a hot sauce.
She's on with the morning show in New York City, and she pulls out a little thing of hot sauce.
Yeah.
What a racist to think that they would respond. Think about how much of a racist you have to be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna show you a little thing of hot sauce because you people, and she'd say you people because that's how she thinks. You people would relate to this and vote for me because I carry hot sauce. She's a hot mess and just another scumbag.
Not to digress, but yeah.
Yes. So speaking of people on that side, hey, guess what? One of them died.
Who's that?
The guy. Remember yesterday I talked about the New Jersey representative from New Jersey, Democrat, Donald Payne Jr.
Yeah.
Right. He had this, I guess, massive heart attack or stroke about 11, 12 days ago.
Yeah, he died.
And he's been on a ventilator. Right, Rick? Because I said, does 11 days sound long for a ventilator?
Yeah, 5 days is too much.
Right. And Rick was looking at me like going, yeah, that's not good. Well, they finally came clean. Looks like, and this is...
he was already dead.
Yeah, he probably was. U.S. Representative Donald Payne Jr., a six-term Democratic congressman from New Jersey, has died from heart problems. Heart problems from, I guess, a heart attack. He was 65, suffered with health problems for years. Let's see. New Jersey's Governor Phil Murphy said he and his wife are deeply sad. Who cares about you guys? It's not about you. Saddened by his loss. As a former union worker, toll collector, he deeply understood the struggles of our families, blah, blah, blah. Murphy said it was a great honor to work side by side, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares what you did with him. Let's see. And we hold his memory close to our hearts as we build upon the Payne family, Payne family's deep legacy of service and advocating for communities they serve so dearly. So there you have it. There's a seat open. There's a job opening at the House of Representatives.
Yeah, they can name somebody to run in the general.
Can they do that in New Jersey?
Maybe Krispy Kreme will do
they
it.
Haven't. They don't have a replacement at this point. Now
let me ask you this, because I don't know the rules. Was there a reason they waited this long to announce his death? Was there
a bill that had to be signed?
so that they can say, okay, we don't have to do a special election. We can just kind of name someone for the general?
I don't know about that.
Because I know those are some of the douchey tactics the Republicans are using. I know the guy in Ken Buck is using that out in Colorado, or somebody's going to use it, where they're going to leave on the 19th so they can't have a special election.
Well, the primary is not till June 4th. So if he wins the primary on the ballot...
Who, the dead guy?
Yeah, he could stay on it. If he wins, then they can announce somebody, I think, to run in his place.
And you know what? I believe he's still going to be able to vote come November.
That's what I was going to say. I thought only dead people vote.
It's Jersey.
They run too now, dead people, huh? Wow.
And who knows? Maybe Joe Biden, that could be the third person he knows that woke up dead.
Yeah, it could be.
There you go. Yeah. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, more sports with Slick Rick, more with David Zier, and you guys right there.
Woo. He's from Newark, so that's a Democrat.
The tickling of the ivories in that song, right? That was nice.
Incredible.
It's almost sounded like David Zier.
Yeah.
Not that good.
Well, we know, but I was trying to pump you up there.
Thank you.
Especially after seeing the tie you decided to wear. I got to say something nice.
I have a piano tie at home. Like I'm in 8th grade.
That you should have brought.
The little skinny ones.
Yeah.
From like 7th grade.
Yep. Like from Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Yeah. I didn't get beat up too much.
Speaking of getting beaten up, you have Reed's here.
Damn it. How many? 2?
Yeah.
Can we do one here and one on the other one?
I guess we can do that.
I hate back-to-backs.
I'm pretty sure the audience does too, so we'll do one at a time.
I'm doing it for them. It's all
look
for
at
you.
Miami beating Boston by 9.
Are they?
5 to go in the 4th. That's crazy.
In the 4th?
In the Garden.
Wow. See, now that's interesting.
That's an upset.
Is Jimmy Butler playing? Or is he still out?
That I don't know. I'm going to guess he's. Well, that's a good point. I'm going to look at the box score right now, and I'm going to let you know.
Thank you.
Butler is.
I appreciate it.
Doesn't look like he's on the court. Bam Adebayo is having a big night. 19. I think he's out.
Wow, he's still out. Okay.
Jimmy Butler's out. Well, he's not. He has not entered the game. That's a big upset. Wow. Take it. Hold on. That means they'll split on the road. They'll go to Miami. Nah.
Yeah.
He's a good coach, though, right? Eric Spoelstra. He's a good coach.
He's a very good coach.
Yeah.
Everybody thought he was, and I did too, especially after Riley stopped and he thought he kind of took over, for the LeBron team. I'm like, is he really doing much? And you find out, after LeBron leaves, that he's able to resurrect that team and make them playoff contenders again.
He learned a lot from Riley.
Yeah. And he still does. Riley's still the GM.
I love Riley. I hated him because he was the Lakers,
right.
But I loved, he was a great coach.
Oh, which one am I doing here?
Start with Birch Gold.
I'll start with Birch Gold. Birch Gold in these here hills.
I'll say, boy, so Big D's got a fever, huh?
Yeah, he said it was. He wasn't feeling too good.
Got the rockin' pneumonia and the boogie woogie blues.
I think he fell asleep in the hot tub last night.
Oh, he might have. He was on TV and then he went in the hot tub. I was calling him Teletubby. Oh my God! I just got myself in trouble. Teletubby.
Remember, I was saying he probably had his banana hammock already on. He just jump right in.
So each his own.
He went tubing.
I'll have the calzone.
Did they ever figure out?
Oh, it sounds like the blues. And if you're looking at your wallet and your bank accounts and you're looking at inflation and you're looking, man, oh man, you probably have the blues as well. Well, believe it or not, there is good news out there. There's a very common sense reason gold, of all things, is pushing all-time highs right now. Actually, several reasons, and it's some of which we were just talking about. The cost of goods continues to rise despite interest rate controls by the Fed. The national debt continues to skyrocket, now above $34 trillion, causing many to worry about the house of cards and when it will come crashing down. And, of course, this year, 2024, a presidential election year that will have massive implications on the future of this country. And when you see some of the tax things that this current incumbent president wants to turn on the American people, you will not believe it. All of it adds up to instability and uncertainty, and that is why so many Americans are turning to Birch Gold Group. If you haven't diversified your savings yet, what are you waiting for? Secure a portion of them with gold from Birch Gold. All you got to do is text America to 989898, get your free info kit. You'll learn how to convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold, and it doesn't cost you a penny out of pocket. With an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, you can count on Birch Gold too. Just do what I said. Text America to 989898. That's America to 989898. Claim your free info kit on gold and protect your savings from uncertainty today with the Birch Gold Group. And I wasn't kidding when I was talking about the tax things. I was reading some of that stuff at home before I got to the show today, and just the litany of taxes that if the Biden administration wins, that are coming down the pike. If you built a business, say you maybe you're in your 50s or 60s, you're getting ready to say, you know what, maybe I'm going to sell the business, move, kind of take a little retirement or something. The taxes you're going to face when you sell that business, if this administration wins, it's going to be close to 50%. 50%. And when you think about it, that's 50% in today's dollars, not yesterday's dollars.
Yeah.
So that makes a big difference.
And then take 20% off your retirement for inflation.
Right. And you factor in all those, you're basically getting hosed. If this administration comes back and does what they want to do with taxes.
Oh, yeah.
The double death tax that they talk about, the tax on unrealized capital gains that they have in mind.
Goodbye.
They don't renew the tax
Goodbye
cuts.
retirement.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Just not renewing the tax
Worked
cuts.
at McDonald's till you're 97.
Yeah. You look at it like, and guess what? It still wouldn't cover all the money they still want to spend.
Oh, yeah.
Damon says it all the time. The numbers work until they don't. These numbers, they don't. They're not working. They're not working at all.
Good Lord. You vote with your checkbook. That's what I don't really like Trump. I said, I don't care who you like.
Yeah.
Vote with your checkbook. You want to vote for Trump because let's get Trump in however we can with these liberals. But, some of them got to switch over because they got to vote with their damn checkbooks. Well, gas pump $3.75. Now it's sick.
Right. And you would think that would be the easiest thing. That used to be the easiest way to win a presidential election, right? Reagan said it. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago?
Yeah.
You could make the argument, are you better off now than you were just 3 years ago?
Don't say no new taxes.
You're better off now than you were 4 hours ago,
right.
for God's sakes, the way this administration's going.
I mean, in the past couple days, I was driving my mom's car around, had to get some work done for her on it. Filled up her gas tank. Gas was $3.50. Went today to do mine. 2 days later, it's now $3.80.
Yep.
$3.80.
I know.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Just down the street. And it's just, man, oh man. And I didn't get a bump at work. I didn't get a pay increase this week.
It's compounded on so many levels, and then you have
this week.
and you don't your utility bill. They don't include housing in the inflation numbers. They don't include other things in there. They don't include fuel.
Yeah,
right. In the inflation numbers,
it's insane. I stopped at Arby's. I'm like, you know what? It's rare. If you know the New York area, there's not a lot of Arby's.
Right.
But I found one. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop by. I'd never really go to Arby's.
Did you have a beef with somebody?
Yeah, I had a beef with somebody. I thought I'd slice it up. And I decided I'm going to throw Arby's a bone, and I'm going to stop by. Plus I love their commercials. We have the meats. All right.
Yes.
Well, give me some of your meats. I'm thinking. Shut up, Slick.
So there's an Arby's on the way back from LaGuardia Airport.
Oh, I know that one.
And once in a while, I'll hit it.
I know that one.
I can't eat that stuff anymore, but
that stuff will kill
once
you.
in a while.
But they had a commercial
Processed
for this.
foods, man. The death of America.
The type of beef that they have, this Wagyu beef or whatever for a burger. I'm like, I'll try one.
Yeah,
burgers.
Wagyu.
What was it, $19 for a combo
It
meal?
was $11 just for the burger.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, I don't want the fries because I don't need it. I don't drink the Coke. Just give me the burger. I'll be fine.
How was it?
I figured $6. It was a decent burger, but it wasn't an $11 fast food burger. I'll tell you how much that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to pay $11 for a fast food burger, that thing better come. That thing better come in a silver box. With a butler walking over saying, "Would you like some ketchup on your?"
I feel like Arby's is one of the less poisonous fast foods out there.
But still, I mean, for just the burger was $11.
Yeah, it's out of control.
So if you're going to add the fries and the drink, now you're talking.
If you go to a rest stop on the New York Thruway, a combo meal is like $18.
Yeah,
yeah.
So people stop there with their families. It's $100 for some crappy burger that some prisoner made for you in the back.
Exactly.
Without washing his hands.
Yeah. Ooh.
Great. What'd you use to slice up those potatoes? A shiv? Nice.
Remember the white bread with the fingerprints?
You ever see some of the rest stops?
When we were poor kids, Mom said, "You got a hamburger? We don't have buns. We got white bread. We got the Wonder Bread." And you put your fingers in
and it's all fingerprinted.
Got the fingerprints in it.
Probably, driven up and down.
Skit, right? Yeah.
Probably driven up and down the East Coast, 100 times, and that late night stop at the rest area in Jersey, the Vince Lombardi rest area, and it's like, you know that food was not handled properly.
No,
but you still get the 2 pieces of Roy Rogers chicken or whatever, you know.
Yeah, Roy Rogers.
Roy Rogers. We missed Roy Rogers.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anyhow. All right, let's do some, do we have time for sports? Yeah, let's do some quick sports with Slick Rick. Brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Like I said, if you use our code at checkout, send us the receipt, you will get this T-shirt. See, the Trump T-shirt. That's for free. You'll get that, and you'll get entered into the drawing for the $100 gift card. Slick, what do you got?
Well, hearing about Roy Rogers triggered some thoughts. No, I'm just kidding. We got NBA action. We got a good one brewing down up in Boston. Excuse me, heading down to Miami soon. The Heat right now lead the Celtics, the probably favorite to win the NBA championship in a lot of the publications. The Heat are leading the Celtics 102-96 with 3:15 to go. But if you saw that Sixers-Knicks game, you'll know that you could have a 7-point lead with 27 seconds to go. And it ain't safe enough. So I think the Celtics come back and pull this out. They're home in the TD Garden. So up 1-0, looking to take a commanding 2-0 lead there. The Celtics trail right now 105-96. Check that. So they're right now they're down by 9 with 2:25 to go. We'll keep you updated on that. Pelicans taking on the Thunder at 9:30. NHL action. The Bruins just won up 2-1 over the Maple Leafs in Boston. Excuse me, that's in Toronto. We're just in Boston. Now we're in Toronto. Come on, Rick, move around. We're going up north. Here we go. Game 3. That series is tied at 1 with 10 minutes to go in the third. Golden Knights and the Stars, that's a 9:30 puck drop, and Kings and Oilers way out west at 10 p.m. We have time for a quick story. Well, Bill Belichick found a job. I'll get into that. Yeah, we were just talking about him last night. Yeah. Because Andy Reid signed that big contract till 2029, and we were wondering what happened to Bill. Bill found a great gig. I'll get into that in my next sports segment a little bit later on in this hour.
All right, very good. You know what? We'll continue sports after the break because I know we shorted you, and I do want to hear about what Bill Belichick.
Yeah, don't look it up. You're going to find out
because he's probably the greatest football coach, right?
Definitely. Probably. I wouldn't even say arguably at this point. Yeah, unless Andy Reid surpasses him, which is always possible.
We'll see. He's got till 2029 to try and do it.
Old Andy. Andy's got some team to do it, too, because I think Mahomes will be playing for the next 20 years.
O.J. Mahomes?
No, it'll be O.J. now.
David's here is going to have some news when we get back. We'll continue with sports with Slick Rick. We also got some other cool stuff for you guys to check out on video. We got some clips. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. We will be right back. Stay on.
107. Caleb Martin and Bam Adebayo, 21 each.
Oh, so Caleb Martin's having a big game.
And Tyler, we don't need another hero.
What about Tyler Hero?
20. He's playing good,
you
too.
got 3 guys with 20 points. It's going to be tough to beat him.
6 of 11 from 3, shooting over 50%. Yeah, wow. Tatum has 26. Porzingis, he only has 6.
Only 6?
Yeah, Brown has 32. Yeah, Brown's the leading scorer. 107-98, 117 to go.
All right, chatters.
It's over.
What do we got going on in the chat? I still have not checked in to get her.
Oh, you're terrible.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, they won't hear you right now anyway.
What'd you say?
They won't hear you right now anyway.
I know they won't hear me, but at least if I.
Oh, we're not in. We're not in there.
No, we are.
Oh, we are.
It's just not live during the breaks. That's all.
Right.
Don't forget you have another read here.
Shut up.
Nope.
No, I know. Which one is it?
Wellness Company.
Okay. I'm checked into the Get It chat.
There was some trades made earlier. They're trading. There was some
Dude, you got to talk about the draft.
I talked about the draft, but you know what?
No, you didn't.
A long.
You guys said fast food.
Now you're hungry?
No, I had to have a Rolaids.
I think the Jets traded up too. I think probably looking for a quarterback.
Well, they traded what's his name, right? They traded him down to Carolina.
I can't believe Carolina was that stupid to buy that.
Listen, Aaron. Yes.
How could they buy that?
Thank goodness.
That's damaged goods, man.
Now, where'd they send Mac Jones? Send him down to Jaguar?
They sent him to McDonald's. I don't know.
Patriots got rid of it. They need a quarterback.
Oh, God, they do. They definitely do.
Think? Did you see Drake May? He's like he was doing some workouts with Phillip Rivers, who retired 5 years ago.
Oh God!
And Phillip Rivers
has 17
smoked
kids.
him. They did a competition. He goes, "Yeah, Phillip Rivers beat me." He goes, "He still has it."
He was a great quarterback.
You said Zach Jones. I was thinking of Sam Jones and Flash Gordon.
Sam Jones.
He was a quarterback for the Jets in the movie, wasn't he?
He was Flash Gordon, quarterback, New York Jets. That was the best quarterback you guys ever had, Eric. Oh, you know what that music means? Yes. And when it comes to crisis, I know we talked about the financial crisis we're currently going through in this country, but there's also the chance of another medical crisis that could be just around the corner. We've heard them talk about it. They allude to it. We've heard bird flu. We've heard virus X, whatever they want to call it. Whether it comes in the form of a pandemic or something much more mundane like a tick bite, you and your family need to be prepared, and that's where the Wellness Company comes in. You know the Wellness Company. We've had their great doctors like Dr. Peter McCullough on. The Wellness Company and their doctors are medical professionals that you can trust. And believe me, when you see them on our show, they don't pull any punches. And their medical emergency kits are turning out to be the gold standard when it comes to keeping you and your family safe and healthy. Be ready for anything with their new medical emergency kit. It contains an assortment of life-saving medications, including ivermectin and Z-Pak. The medical emergency kit also provides you a guidebook to aid in the safe use of all these life-saving medications. So what do you need to do now? You need to go to their website. Go to www.twc.health/voice today and order. Rest assured knowing that you'll have the emergency antibiotics, the antivirals, the antiparasitics on hand to keep you and your family safe for whatever these globalists throw at us next. And again, whether it's anthrax, tick bites, COVID, you know it. The Wellness Company has a medical emergency kit. It's exactly what you need to get you and make sure that you're prepared. Once again, go to their website, twc.health/voice today and order. That's twc.health/voice. Use the promo code VOICE to save an extra 10% at checkout at the Wellness Company. So there you have it. And, you know, it's funny, David Zier, you know, we were talking about some of the things that are coming down the pike, and I don't know how you feel about the climate stuff, but we've got a clip from Joe Biden talking about, and I've heard some scary stuff about this climate stuff that they have in mind. We'll get into that in just a few minutes, but I did want to continue on with sports with Slick Rick. Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Slick, continue, please.
Well, tomorrow night we will have the NFL draft on here live. We'll have all the picks for you. We'll go through it on sports. I'll be totally focused on that. There was some movement earlier today, a lot of moving around with trade positions and what have you, but we'll get into the details certainly tomorrow night. But Bill Belichick finds new job ahead of NFL season. Bill Belichick is off the NFL sidelines for the first time since 1974 by Ryan Morick of Fox News. For the first time in 50 years, Bill Belichick will not be on an NFL sideline.
That's
Belichick's
crazy.
first job in the NFL came in 1975 as a special assistant with the Baltimore Colts. He then progressed to become one of the greatest head coaches ever, guiding the New England Patriots dynasty. But after 24 seasons in Foxborough, he and the Pats mutually parted ways. After several interviews with other teams, Belichick was passed up on, believe it or not. However, his football knowledge is reportedly still going to be viewed by millions. According to The Athletic, Belichick has been tabbed to be a regular recurring part of the Manning cast. Now, that should be a riot, where Peyton and Eli Manning dissect Monday Night Football in real time. So far, the Manning cast has not had a repeat guest, so this would be a first for the program. Belichick, 72, joined New England in 2000 and won 6 Super Bowls with the team. However, post Tom Brady, it's been a tough kick at the can. Since Brady left the team, the Pats have made the playoffs just once in the last 4 years. They currently have the 3rd pick in the NFL draft, their lowest selection since 2008. The Pats hired Gerard Mayo. Ironically, that 2008 2008 selection to replace Belichick. Belichick will be on Pat McAfee's NFL Draft Show tomorrow night. He's also reportedly writing a book and possibly working on a podcast. So, Bill might like the old, director's chair there, sitting down a little bit there with the boys. The Manning cast, that should be outrageous. He'll write a book. Good for him. Probably needs a little break. I have a feeling he's going to purge everything, come back fresh with a fresh pair of eyes. The game looked like it was starting to pass him by a little bit. Right. More so, though, he didn't have the talent. That really was the problem there. And losing old Tom Brady, well, people say anybody could win with Brady. Well, they might be right. Anyway, that's a wrap in sports.
But you know what? You do make a good point about the fresh eyes kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like you take a year off and all of a sudden you gain clarity.
Yeah, that's what Mike McCarthy did with the Cowboys. He took a couple of years off, too, when Green Bay let him go. But he hasn't quite shown the clear path to winning an NFL title, much less getting past the second round of the playoffs. So hopefully Mike's fresh eyes will, open up.
Exactly. Hey, now I wonder this because he's going to be part of the Manning cast. Did it say in that clip if it's going to be a regular thing or is that going to be just the first game of the season?
They've never invited a guest back, probably for good reason. But they're inviting him back, and I guess.
Oh, so he's been on before?
Yeah, he's been on once, so he's coming back on again. So, but I have a feeling that it looks like to me they're going to probably have him on as a regular guest. So, he found a job. We were just talking about him last night, which is so funny that they wrote a story that he made that move. So,
and it's funny that it'd be Eli, the one guy who beat him twice in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right. Wow, that's going to be funny. He'll probably give him the old, "Hey, Bill, remember that one? Hey, remember 2008?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So kind of interesting, cool little follow up to the Bill Belichick thing.
Very cool.
Hey, here's an interesting story I came across, and Aaron, you can go to my computer. I got a clip. I'll play with this. Homeland, the TV show Homeland. I don't know if you know it.
Yeah.
One of the actors on there argues for white actors playing black roles. Yeah, it's kind of reverse. And he says it in the name of the game is acting. According to actor David Harewood, recently ripped Hollywood's fixation on making sure actors fit a certain identity of the roles they play, going as far to say that white people should be able to play black up and play characters of color, much like, I guess, he's got to be referring to Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. I mean,
I was going to say,
who can forget his turn as this? Look at this, the drama.
For 400 years, that word has kept us down.
What the fuck?
Oh, jeez.
What about the fudge?
Sorry.
You know what? Robert Downey Jr. was so great in that role.
Yeah.
And it was just so epic. But, I want to know, you try to find a white guy that can play George Jefferson, and I'll give you a couple of $1,000.
Yeah.
I can do it.
I mean,
yeah?
He goes on.
Come on, Wheezy.
Come on, Wheezy.
The funny part is he goes on to quote the Jefferson song. That was the part I thought I was playing.
Yeah.
That said it was going to play there. But, if this actor is correct, I mean, it kind of flies in the face of what Hollywood is telling everybody, because what they tell and what they continue to tell people is, well, you can only have trans people now play trans people. You can only have handicapped people play handicapped people.
Yeah.
You can only have poor people play poor. You can't. It's almost like they've taken acting
now, if a
out
white
of the
guy
acting
goes
profession.
into a regional black person's dialect, I mean, those guys can get away with it in Tropic Thunder because they're all liberals, even though it was a hilarious movie. But what if a white guy tries to talk like he's from the 70s in the ghetto, and then all of a sudden it'd be like, oh, it's stereotyping.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. But meanwhile, and then you can go back to a great comedy called Undercover Brother, where it was blaxploitation shtick that they did.
Yeah.
In the mid 2000s with Eddie Griffith. Eddie Griffith is phenomenal.
Yeah, he was great in Double Take.
Because he's just so funny about it, right?
Yeah.
And but this guy is actually arguing that Hollywood now should start going backwards and say, you know what, blackface is now okay, which is, I'm waiting to see him getting blasted on X. And have all these actors come out against him, and then he'll probably end up like Stephen A. Smith having to backtrack.
No, because they'll frame it up like it's such a moving representation of the black struggle by a white man, or whatever. They're like romanticize it.
Yeah.
But if you did it, like a conservative did it, it's like we're the devil.
Right, exactly. So, anyhow, kind of an interesting, weird story, figuring it's coming out of Hollywood. David, anything else you've got in news that you want to share?
Well, you have something about climate change?
Yeah, there's actually a
Do we
clip
have time
here.
for that? Because I have
definitely.
some stats for you I thought you would like.
Because when it comes to Joe Biden, of course, he's the gift that keeps on giving. As a matter of fact, you know what? I almost forgot about this clip earlier. Because, of course, you know, Joe Biden, he stands up for all the different segments of society. And I just don't know what this segment of society he's talking about here that he's standing up for. This is cut number 4. Check out Joe Biden saying this. This is, I guess he was doing a speech down in Florida.
We'll teach Donald Trump and extreme MAGA Republicans a valuable lesson. Don't mess with the movement of America.
Don't.
I mean it.
Like, what? Don't mess with what?
I don't know what he said.
I don't know what he said there.
We'll teach Donald Trump and extreme MAGA Republicans a valuable lesson. Don't mess with the movement of America.
With the
minimal woman.
Yeah.
The minimal woman.
So whatever group that is, I think he's got their vote.
The men who are women.
It could be the men who are women.
That's
of
what he
America.
meant. Who can get pregnant. The men who are women who can get pregnant. Don't mess with them.
Yes, exactly. But now the clip you wanted to talk about, the climate thing.
Yeah.
And I've seen this headline a lot. And we've talked about it, this climate, you know, the climate hoax. Yes, we know the climate is ever changing. It's a dynamic environment. It's never going to be static. You're never going to be able to control it. It's always going to go up. It's always going to go down. There's going to be changes. The seas are going to go up. They're going to go down. It's just the way it is. It's a living, we're on a planet that does all those things. Like I said, it's a dynamic environment. But they want to say, hey, we can control it. It's almost like Simon Bar Sinister, an underdog. With my weather machine, we'll be able to control the weather and rule the
says go snow.
Yeah. So here, check out this clip. This is Climate Dictator Joe, cut number 7.
Well, I mean, this is the serious story of the day. NBC News has reported that if Joe Biden declares a national climate emergency, he would have COVID-like powers under that emergency, and they also compared the emergency powers to the 9/11 emergency powers. The Center for Biological Diversity has estimated Joe Biden would get about 130 wartime-like powers by which to bypass democracy and impose the Green New Deal on America without a single vote of Congress. This is truly this is a Halloween story, not a story for Earth Day. This is a truly frightening story, and he might just be desperate enough to do it. This is being widely reported in the media. The Biden White House is leaking this out. This might happen, and this is going to give Joe Biden, these kind of, you want to say the word dictatorial powers. He doesn't need no stinking democracy to impose the Green New Deal if he does this.
Yeah, AOC was walking hand in hand with Biden because she got her way in this latest bill that Congress passed with the funding, and that was slipped in there too for the climate police. But the Vikings grew cabbage and potatoes 1,000 years ago in Greenland and fished, and there were villages on the coast, and now it's frozen. So explain that. It was before the industrial age or any fossil fuels existed outside of burning trees. Right. Making tar to pour on the peasants. Right. But so there's been 41 failed doomsday scenarios since 1967. In 69, they said everyone will disappear in a cloud of blue steam. Yep. They did make one accurate prediction, though. I think there's an ice age coming because it's getting cold. But ozone depletion will peril life in 1974. Acid rain is going to kill everybody in 1980. 75, Time Magazine climate cooling. But this is a fascinating list. Go to AEI.org. I think it's the American Enterprise Institute.
And I think the scariest part of that is the powers that they talk about him having, wielding. Basically dictatorial power to take care of anybody who dissents.
Yeah, dictatorial.
Good word. Scary stuff when you think about it, because all of a sudden he doesn't have to worry about Congress. No. He can go smell you later and do what he wants. And that's exactly what the left wants. All right.
Scary.
What are we down to? One more segment to go. Man, oh man. Let's do a sports update when we get back. In the meantime, stay there. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice.
Exactly. Is that what they said, right?
Yeah.
Anybody pick up on it? Did anybody say anything? Let's see. All right.
Dictatorial. D's salty nuts. Dictatorial. That's what I was trying to say.
That was funny. D's Texas Nuts is now D's Salty Nuts. That's right. D's Texas Nuts. Rick, I thought you fudged it. Yeah? Yeah. Go fudge yourself. No 10,000.
I hope nobody's upset.
Poor Big D can't take a night off.
Oh my! Stop.
The poor guy.
I set it up perfectly. Ugh.
Nobody said anything. I didn't see anybody say.
Oh, cold case suspect makes a deathbed confession. Let's see what this is. I love it. Cold case suspect makes deathbed confession in murder of child and mother 24 years ago.
Oh my God.
Larry Webb, who was in his 80s, died at Mount Olive, blah, 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 just 6 hours before the remains of victims, two victims, seen when cars were missing. Okay, who cares? Get to the part where he confesses.
Oh, they got to give it all.
Tuesday, said Webb was dealing with financial issue when he shot and killed the Carters. They had an argument about it, killed mother. He did tell investigators that he buried both Susan and Alex together in the same. On Tuesday, officials from the West Virginia State Police said that the confession was made during his first week of April. Webb was on his deathbed looking to come to Jesus at that point. Yeah, well, when you're staring death in the face, you're like, by the way, I got to let you guys know I killed somebody, killed 2 people, buried them.
Wow.
He's not getting in. It's too late.
Well, you never know. He could, last minute. Last call. Last call. You could listen. You can get forgiveness at any moment before you die, I believe.
I know.
God is very forgiving.
Hey, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Wednesday night. Again, Slick Rick has got sports. David Zier is here. He's got a couple more. You got couple more clips you want to share, or just straight news there, David?
Yeah, there's so much going on here. I have a couple of good ones really quick. James Woods.
I guess you'll go now. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it's up to you. I can wait.
No, go. Do it.
These are like 2 minutes.
Clean it up.
Come on, do it, man.
James Woods, video of trans or transvestite or dancing inappropriately in front of a child. I think taking money from that child. James Woods, cut 16.
Ooh. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, there's no audio in this clip, but this is what's going on in America. How about getting carted out in cuffs?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Does he?
I don't think so.
No.
So you just, okay. So it's just that clip. I thought there was a story behind it, like the guy was arrested because he should have been, because
well, these kids might be right about our future. We're doomed. Yeah, no doubt. So
you gonna bust out any other videos?
No, I'll spare you guys. I'll spare you guys. I just wanted to comment. The MSM has been embarking on election interference since Trump in 2015, 2016. No convictions or indictments. That's what's going on here. And then they're talking about it. And I had 2 quick stories about Baltimore Harbor. Norfolk Southern says the bridge collapses have cost them money up to $25 million per month, but they still were able to meet their quarterly estimates. And things are moving along a little bit over there. And they already, I think, are opening or have opened a 35-foot deep channel. Some cargo ships are to pass, but they should have a deep channel reopen in about 30 days. So I thought that was interesting there. New Bloomberg polls have Trump ahead in battleground states, in every battleground state except for Michigan at this point, gaining ground in Pennsylvania, according to Bloomberg. And we had this really quick article from Jonathan Turley. I thought this was really good because I spent 30 seconds just reading some of it here. I think it explains, in a nutshell, what's going on in the Trump trial. Now, he's not a Trumper, Turley, but he's very fair. And he's saying Alvin Bragg holds a Trump trial. All he needs now is a crime. And he's basically saying, that there's no evidence of any crimes here. The prosecution has to show that Trump falsified records in furtherance of a crime. After months of confusion on just what crime underpinned the indictment, the prosecution is offering now with that new theory as so ambiguous and undefined about election interference, and you can't tell me that they're going to be able to prove what Trump had in his head about all of this, and it's not illegal to do what he did, it's not illegal to or a crime to pay for non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, about alleged affairs. It's not a federal election offense to pay the money. Federal law doesn't treat it as a political contribution if you do so. And somehow this characterization of the payment as a legal expense is an illegal conspiracy to promote one's own candidacy in New York. His article's great. So you should go to New York Post, find Jonathan Turley. Alvin Bragg has his Trump trial. All he now needs is a crime. Look it up.
Yeah, and real quick, there's a story that I didn't have a chance to read too much of, so I'll just give you a quick synopsis and the headline. As an Arizona grand jury indicted 7 attorneys or aides affiliated with Donald Trump's 2020 presidential campaign, as well as 11 Arizona Republicans on felony charges related to their efforts to subvert Joe Biden's 2020 victory in the state. They're going after Mark Meadows, Rudy Giuliani, Jana Ellis, John Eastman, Boris Epshteyn, campaign aide Mike Roman. Wow. They're going after the alternate electors. They're doing this in Arizona. There's also breaking from, Michigan and Nevada. They have filed criminal charges against Trump electors.
Yeah.
So they're not satisfied.
No, we knew Arizona was coming, and then the next bunch of northern states, right? So,
and it's just amazing how it's just complete and utter nonsense. Something that we've always had the opportunities to do is to send an alternate slate of electors in case situations arise. Now they're trying to criminalize all of that, even asking questions about it.
Brought felony indictments in Nevada.
So we'll see what happens
Nevada
with that
GOP.
As more unfolds between tonight and tomorrow night. Slick Rick, let's do some sports. Final sports update of the night. Give us some good news in the NBA.
Well, big
Slick
NBA
Rick Sports
upset. You're
brought to you by
absolutely right,
Mike Lindell's MyPillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. What do you got?
All right. Well, we're going to go to Boston. Big upset tonight. Tyler Hero scores 24 for the Miami Heat as the Heat hit a franchise record 23 3-pointers in one game. That's big numbers. And so that series is tied 1-1 as Miami tops Boston by 10, 111-101. So, wow, really, that was a big upset. I thought Boston was going to sweep that.
And I think that's the first home team that's lost, right?
No.
Milwaukee?
No, who was? Let me see. Dallas won last night on the
Dallas
road.
won?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Pelicans and Thunder right now, they're just underway. Thunder lead that game 15-14, 7 to go in the first. And NHL action. Well, it looks like the Bruins have won 4-2 over the Maple Leafs at the end of the third, so game's over. And right now, that series is, 2-1. Boston now takes the lead. Golden Knights and Stars just underway, no score there. Kings and Oilers, 10 p.m. puck drop. I have time for one quick one. Yes, I do. Okay, Stephen A. Smith apologizes for saying blacks relate to Trump, then cites growing support for Trump among blacks. This guy can't make up his mind. This is Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart. Stephen A. very outspoken. A lot of people listen to him on both sides, so we'll see. Stephen A. Smith apologized for saying black people relate to Trump because of his persecution by the legal system. In a way, we've been saying that. The ESPN Hot Take machine took to the podcast airwaves on Monday to list the various civil rights organizations and media personalities who took him to task for saying that the slew of legal trials the former president is being subjected to would endear him to black blacks who feel similarly persecuted. Dare I say something that will probably be termed the most uncomfortable thing I've ever had to articulate out of my mouth from a political perspective, Smith said last week on Hannity. But I got to tell you something. As much as people may have been abhorred by Donald Trump's statement weeks ago about how black folks, he's hearing that black folks find him relatable because what he's going through is similar to what black Americans have gone through. He wasn't lying. He was telling the truth. And that was a quote from Stephen A. Smith. Of course, he had to walk it back a little, right? On Monday, Smith attempted to clear the air. A lot of folks in black America seem pretty pissed with me right now, from friends and loved ones to colleagues, contemporaries, and dare I say even the NAACP itself. Quite a few folks were put off, if not flat out offended, after my words were interpreted as associating support for Trump. Oh, the derangement's kicking in. From the black community, with all the legal issues he's facing. For that, I sincerely apologize. To be clear, my words were misconstrued. However, shortly after backpedaling in deference to his critics, Smith went on to list several polls and surveys showing that blacks had indeed increased their support for the former president. We've been telling you that on this show for weeks, if not months. Smith stressed that he studied the facts before giving his opinion and that there had been indeed a momentum shift among blacks towards Trump. And that's the story. So he's saying one thing, but he is admitting, hey, he knows what time it is. Trust me, Stephen A. Smith. Yeah. It's Trump time. Yeah. It's coming.
Ben is speaking at Make Europe Great Again, MEGA. Oh. It's brought to you by, I think, the Conservative Party Alliance in Romania this weekend, April 27th, April 28th, and that's where he's heading.
Do you know if there's any way for it to be streamed? I'm sure there's probably streaming it.
Got to be somebody streaming it.
That's a good question.
You know what? You should reach out to Ben and find out.
Yeah, we'll for tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll throw it out there and people can stream it and see it for themselves. Give him some support because Ben's a good guy. Again, Ben Burkam from Real America's Voice heading over to Romania to speak. They're flying him over. They're winging him over into
it's pretty
into
impressive.
Eastern Europe there to make a speech on conservatism.
Yeah, Bucharest ruled by Ceausescu for decades under communist rule, part of the Warsaw Pact, the Eastern Bloc.
He should have took the great David Zier with him, the walking history book. He would have been fantastic there.
They were commies, but now they're a free country.
Yeah, and they're inviting our own Ben Burkam over to say hi and make a speech for them. All right, thank you for watching. As always, we salute our military, active and retired, everybody working the front lines, the Border Patrol, the EMTs, the firefighters, the police, the doctors, the nurses, the plumbers, the electricians, everybody making our lives that much easier. Don't forget the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard is out there. We have a cousin and her husband who were Coast Guarders. Also, you guys at home, Fran and Aaron in the booth, Slick Rick, David Zier, and of course everybody on the chats. Thank you again for watching. We will see you tomorrow night live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Peace.